I can't believe it's been 10 years already. Hi everybody. I am celebrating my 10th anniversary as a realtor. They actually coincided with my birthday this weekend because I made the announcement on my birthday 10 years ago. So I wanted to share a couple things that I learned along the way, and it's interesting how some of the things that I learned in other professions prior to this that really were applicable here. But before that, let me back up just a little bit for those of you who don't know the story of why I became a realtor. I was a commercial photographer before, and most of my work was flying to a location and working outdoors for, 12-hour days or longer and just, getting the job done and then flying home, then editing and getting it all done. So, my one of my last jobs was photographing a mountain biker out in the desert outside Las Vegas in August. So it was 114 degrees. It was miserable. I got heat exhaustion. And Pat's also a accomplished photographer, which y'all probably know. So she'll always go and assist me on these things, which was awesome. So on the flight back, I was like, man, these things are getting harder, and I got to figure out some kind of plan for when I get older because I can't imagine keeping doing this when I started getting older. And I was coming up on 50 years old at that point. So, just kind of filed that away, and I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And then one day I asked Pat, it's like, how would you feel about it if I got my realtor license and joined you in your business? And she thought, that would be awesome. I'd love to do that. So I went to school in secret because, well, for two reasons, really. First of all, I didn't want to hear anybody's opinion on whether or not I should do it. And secondly, I wanted to make sure that if, after going through the education for it, if I decided that it wasn't for me after all, that I didn't have to answer any questions. So I took my schooling, got my license. Everything went really great. And Pat was a big help, of course, because Pat's been a realtor like forever. And so she would help me study and quiz me on things. And I think that really helped me pass the test first try. And so then February 1st came around 10 years ago, and I shocked everybody with the announcement because nobody saw that coming. I was commercial photographer of the year here in Tampa Bay. I don't remember if it was that year or the year before, but I was really at the top of my career. So here I am totally changing careers, and I went from being at the top of my career to being the new guy. And there were some major lessons there. So the first thing I knew that I had to do was humble myself and be receptive and listen to our brokers. Now, for anybody out there considering becoming a realtor, your choice of broker is the most important decision you'll make in your career. It that determines your income more than anything else. Everybody's always scrambling around like, oh, where can I get the best split? Where's the best percentage, of what I get to keep and all that stuff. None of that matters. We've got two brokers, Michael Bindman and Jan Bruzis. It's a husband and wife team, and they have the hearts of teachers. They're ethical, just amazing, amazing people. And they've been in the business for a very long time. So I think just being teachable was important. And I listened, and I didn't try to bring what I knew from advertising and marketing over to this. I listened because I was a new guy and I wanted to succeed. And the best way to succeed is to learn from somebody who has succeeded in doing whatever it is you want to do. Don't listen to all the other people around the water cooler that aren't making any money. You want to listen to the people that are doing it and are where you want to be someday. So I humbled myself. I listened. I heeded everything that our brokers had to say. I listened to Pat and, her experience, her wisdom, which, was not the easiest thing in the world for me because I was used to being the one that had all the knowledge, and I was teaching a lot, and I was used to being the expert. but it really was, that in itself was a good education for me. And I've always been a real big fan of education. So I took as many classes as I could and earned as many certifications as possible. Uh, I don't know how you feel. It's kind of there's two camps on this. One of them's like, well, having certifications doesn't put any money in your pocket. And, I don't know if it does. I don't think anybody takes a look at the letters after my name and says, ooh, he's really smart. We're going to hire him. I don't honestly think it works that way. But I will tell you this, that whenever I've taken these classes and earned these certifications, I walk out of there a better realtor. And that's what really matters is, how am I going to improve my skills so I can better serve our clients? That if you put that first, and I don't care what business you're in, everything I'm going to tell you right now is applicable to every profession. I've found over the years that if you focus on serving your client, whoever they may be, and finding better ways to serve them and to do a good job for them and make their life easier, you're going to be okay. And that kind of brings me to another thing, trusting the process. I learned the process of how you do business from our brokers, and you have to trust the process. Because when you're self-employed like we are, and being self-employed, 100% commission, that's a scary proposition sometimes because you have your ups and downs. I know it always seems like we're always doing great and prosperous, but believe me, we have our ups and downs. And you have to have the faith to get up every day, work hard, do what you know works, even though it doesn't look like it's working that day or that week or even that month. Keep doing what you're supposed to be doing and have the faith that you're going to be okay. Because I have found, because I've been self-employed almost my whole life, that if you get up and you work hard every day and you focus on just moving that ball ahead just a tiny bit every day, that you're going to be okay. I mean, obviously, you're going to have hard times. Everybody does. I don't care who you are, you will have hard times. And that kind of helps me to power through. Sometimes people say, oh, you work at home, how do you stay motivated and not like hang out at the refrigerator or play with the dog or do whatever. And well, two things: fear of poverty, and I like to eat. I know that there's a direct connection between what I'm doing right this minute and how much money I'm going to earn 90 days from now. Because that's about what the cycle is for us. The activities today affect our income 90 days down the road. And so, whatever that cycle is for you, it's going to be different for different professions. It may be instantaneous for some and it may be longer for others. But I think, a lot of times when people are working for somebody else, it's easy to lose that connection between what you're doing on a day to day and minute by minute basis and groceries in the refrigerator and a car in the driveway and having a nice place to live. It's easy to lose that connection. And if, regardless of where you work or what you do, I'd encourage you to really be cognizant of what I'm doing right now is going to affect the groceries in the refrigerator. And if you can restore that connection, or if you're like us, if that connection is very obvious every single day, I think it makes you a better worker. And I think it helps you to stay more focused and also helps you to power through on those times when it's hard. Because, hey, believe me, there's a lot of days where I am not feeling it and I would rather just take a nap or not work or, do something else. But, sometimes you just got to power through. So, a couple other things I've learned. Don't take clients that you don't trust. We've this fortunately I did not learn this the hard way, but we've walked away from $1 million listings because the seller asked us to do something that's not ethical, and believe me, that's hard. Because we're we're not always rolling in dough around here, And it's hard, but you have to have your standards, and your standards have to be set, and they're not movable by whether or not you're going to make a lot of money. So that's the kind of thing. I think that's also one of the reasons we've never been sued. We've never had a complaint lodged against us because we avoid those situations in the first place. So don't work for people you don't trust. And that again, doesn't matter what your profession is. It goes for everybody. Another thing is people that have unreasonable expectations. Now, this is a lesson we have learned the hard time a few times. If somebody's expectations are more than what you know can happen, you're just setting yourself up for failure. And guess who's going to get the blame? It's gonna be you. So, try and avoid that. And believe me, I know it's difficult because we've got to work hard for every dollar we earn, no matter who we are. And it's very hard to say no. When your bank account's running low and you've got someone that, maybe they're a little shady or maybe they're a little bit unreasonable. It's easy to want to just take them on just this once. But believe me, it is not worth it at all. So just to kind of sum up, we've been really successful, and it's one of those kind of things. It's like, if you've got somebody in your life that you see every day, and maybe they're losing weight and they lose 3 pounds a week, you never notice. But if it's somebody that you don't see for a year, is like, oh my God, you look totally different. It's that small incremental thing, and I never really, until I was getting ready to sit down to do this video, gave it any thought. But we've come a long way, Pat and I, and it's our partnership and our love for each other, and that's I got to tell you, when Pat and I partnered up, both of our lives just blew up, and it was awesome. Two people can get the work done of 10 people if you're on the same page and you're headed the same direction. So that's something that's been really valuable. And if you're thinking about doing business with your partner, maybe having a business partnership with your significant other, talk to us about it. We'll help you through it because we've dealt with it. There are some things that you got to deal with, and believe me, it's not for everybody, and I realize that. And it really doesn't say anything about your relationship either if you can't work together. It's fortunate our personalities fit together well, and we work together great. We love being together all the time. Man, not for everybody though. We've got some friends that are like, "Oh man, I I don't know how you stay working together like that because I wouldn't be able to take it." So anyway, I kind of lost track of what I was saying. So kind of, I didn't really have a plan for this. I just wanted to share some things with you. Education, super valuable. Whether or not you can draw a straight line between that education and dollars in your pocket doesn't matter. It makes you better at your profession. And if you want to be the best at your profession, you have to continue getting educated every day if you can, and just continually growing. That's one thing that I thought about this business in the beginning that I was wrong about, was that I'd get to a certain point and could, kind of coast a little bit and it would get easier. Well, it turns out it's just like everything else in the world. It doesn't get easier because everybody else is moving forward, and you better be moving forward too, or else you're going to find yourself left behind. So, keep moving it forward every single day, learning more, staying on it, working hard. There's a whole, you know, backlash now about so-called hustle culture and stuff. Well, I don't believe in any of that, but I do believe in working hard, because if you look around all the people that we admire, I don't know anybody who is somebody I really admire and want to be like that didn't work really hard and earned their money fair and square. So, yeah, I suppose there's some people that make money in unscrupulous ways or ways that are a little unsavory, but I got to tell you, everybody I know earned it fair and square. And there's only one path to success, and that's you and working hard. You can't rely on anybody else. Well, man, I can't believe I've been talking for 15 minutes. I could ramble on about this stuff forever, but hey, if you got questions or about your career or about how to get ahead, how to be successful, Pat and I have really, now that I'm looking back, I can't believe that I'm where I am today. I never thought I'd be here, and we've still got a long way to go and a long road ahead of us, and a lot of great. I don't really know how to say it, but we like to work. That it may sound crazy, but we really enjoy what we do for a living, and it. I mean, that doesn't make it easy every single day. It is a stressful profession, but I got to tell you, I absolutely love it. And if you're watching this and you're somebody that's trusted us with your biggest purchase in most cases, or selling your house or buying or anything like that, thank you so much. Believe me, we do not take that responsibility lightly. So, all right, so I'm going to close now. But if you want to talk about anything, real estate, success, working together, anything at all, anything to do with life, talk to Pat and I. We'll tell you anything you want to know. We would love to see everybody else having the same kind of success and happiness and joy in their life that we have. So thank you for watching. I hope you're having a good day, and I hope you got something out of this. Bye bye.